Welcome to the first annual Lichtman Live Peace Award ceremony, brought to you by Lichtman Live. Tonight, we have this glorious peace medal.
Peace medal.
To award to Allan J. Lichtman.
Hey. Wow, I
Give it up
consider
to
this
him,
one of
folks.
the great honors of my life to get a peace medal. It may not be the Nobel Prize, but it's the next best peace medal, right?
Amazing, amazing. You've caused 0 wars.
0 wars.
Killed nobody at the high seas.
Killed no one on the high seas.
You deserve it, man.
Absolutely. Made no belligerent rhetoric.
Right.
Threatened nobody.
Right.
Right? Didn't appease any murderous dictators.
Right.
Certainly, all of that would qualify me for the Nobel Prize.
No, not the Nobel Prize.
No,
No.
the next best.
This is just as good. It's the Lichtman Live Peace Prize,
right.
okay?
And let me tell you how that compares to the FIFA Peace Prize, right?
Oh, yes. Let me let me intro that topic for real. How about that, Dad? How does that sound?
I'm going to do a comparison here.
Okay. So, if you haven't been following, folks, FIFA, the soccer organization, awarded Donald Trump, the president of FIFA, awarded Donald Trump a peace prize from FIFA, the first annual, which they just seemingly made up. But now the president is under fire after awarding Donald Trump and the organization's first ever peace prize. Because an advocacy group says it violates FIFA's rules on political neutrality. Very interesting turn of events here, Dad.
Absolutely. And what are the qualifications of FIFA? Whoever in FIFA was awarding this, what are their qualifications for deciding who should get the FIFA Peace Prize?
Tell me.
None.
Oh.
They're a sports outfit, right?
Right.
Whereas Lichtman Live constantly deals with issues of war and peace, do we not?
We talk about it a lot, yeah.
We talk about it all the time. And we talk about the ways in which peace and prosperity can be promoted around the world. Does FIFA do that?
Not that I know of.
Not that anyone knows about. Moreover, have we ever been charged with corruption?
Not I.
We're way too poor to be charged with corruption. What about FIFA?
I think they're pretty corrupt last time I checked.
Yeah, I mean, we're not in a position to judge, but certainly if you follow the media coverage of FIFA, there are some pretty significant allegations of corruption. They are generally considered one of the more corrupt organizations. And that is right up Trump's alley, is it not?
It is, Dad.
He has pardoned some of the worst swindlers, the most corrupt persons that have been convicted of crimes in recent years. Moreover, he's killing these poor schmoes on these boats, right? Claiming, they're involved in gangs and cartels that are sending drugs to the United States. What proof is there that any of the people that they killed, more than 80 of them, were members of cartels or drug gangs?
Last I heard, the boat on the double tap strike was heading to Suriname in South America. It wasn't even heading towards America.
And they have absolutely no proof that any of these people were part of a vicious drug gang or a major cartel. Whereas Trump pardoned some of the most notorious drug dealers in modern history, headed by former President Hernandez of Guatemala, who was convicted of smuggling innumerable tons, hundreds of tons, Sam, tons, not pounds, of cocaine into the United States, as well as deadly weapons into the United States. Did he get a light sentence?
No.
45 years after being found guilty through due process by a jury in the United States. What jury convicted the 80 some odd people he killed on the high seas?
I don't know.
None. What due process was engaged in with respect to those people on the high seas? None. Whereas Hernandez had his day in court, he had due process, he had a conviction, and Trump pardons him. And ironically, he has just been, a warrant for his arrest, I believe, has been issued by the current Honduran government. This guy is notorious, awful, horrendous, convicted criminal, vastly more dangerous than any of the 80 people that Trump killed without due process, without proof. And according to a Washington Post report, Sam, he has pardoned some 100, not 10, not 20, about 100 persons involved in drug dealing, including the founder, as I understand it, of the notorious Silk Road. You know what that is?
Yeah, it was like a online dark web marketplace
for
drugs
and other illegal activities. And he, along with Hernandez, gets pardoned by Trump, and people for whom there was no due process, no conviction, no proof, get killed by Trump. And moreover, it is crystal clear why they will not release the full video of the double tap strike that killed the two survivors. It's nothing to do with methods and, national security information. They've put out dozens of videos of boats being blown up, another video of this second time the boat being blown up and the two people killed. It's nothing to do with revealing sources, methods, and operations. In fact, the guy who claims that, Pete Hegseth, what did he do? What did the Inspector General find?
Oh, he put war plans in a signal chat,
jeopardizing the operation and potentially putting American troops at risk of death. Now this guy is on his high horse claiming we can't release the full video because we're protecting sources and methods. We need another word. Hypocrisy is too soft a word to describe this.
True.
And as we pointed out, and I want to reiterate this, based on the closest precedent during World War II, a horrific declared war to the death, it is a war crime to execute shipwrecked survivors. This is the Proteus case. In the midst of World War II, 1944, the height of the war, the British transport had leased a Greek freighter called Peleus that was being used to transport wartime needs. A fair target for a U-boat, and the U-boat sank the Peleus. That was not a war crime. You know what was a war crime, Sam?
Double tap.
Yes, killing the survivors, clinging like the two survivors of the first boat strike by Trump and Hegseth, clinging to rafts and wreckage. The crew of the submarine was captured, and they went to trial. And the judge advocate said, we are not prosecuting them for sinking the Peleus. That was an act of war, perfectly legal. We are prosecuting them for executing the survivors. And the judge advocate, the judge in charge of this, issued a lengthy opinion in which he said, yes, I understand sometimes it may be difficult to distinguish a legal from an illegal order. But that's not the case here. There is no question that whatever the order, executing helpless survivors is a serious war crime. And you can't claim to be following orders, nor can you claim you needed to kill them to protect the sub. The sub could have left the area and easily protected itself without lethal violence. Absolutely the same thing here. Leaving aside whether it's legal in the first place, and that's dubious, unlike World War II, to attack these boats, there is no question based on the Proteus precedent that it was a war crime, presuming we really were at war, as Trump claims. If we weren't, it's just plain old murder. But certainly based on the Peleus precedent, it was a wartime to launch that second strike. And the parallel is exact. You're killing survivors clinging to wreckage. And moreover, if you were worried about them somehow riding this boat, and after 40 some odd minutes, close to an hour, they never did, ridiculous that they somehow could have righted the boat and sailed it away under the watchful eye of the U.S. Navy, which was flying planes right over them. The excuse is absurd. It's much weaker even than the excuse given by the commander of the Peleus. These two could have been apprehended easily, any threat neutralized, and far better to apprehend them because then you can get information from them. Dead persons tell no tales, do they, Sam?
So, long story short, you're saying you don't think Trump deserves that Peace Prize?
Probably not. And I want to close the loop on the Peleus case.
Go for it.
5 crew members of the sub that executed the survivors were prosecuted. And guess what? 3 of them were sentenced to death.
Yikes.
To death.
Ugh.
And executed. Even though they acted in a time of war, the other 2 received lengthy prison sentences. So the precedent, the closest precedent, not only demonstrates that the administration committed a serious war crime, but one potentially punishable by death or very long prison terms.
I don't think there's anything more Trump than making up a Peace Prize, getting it, and then instantly finding out that it was not even within the rules of the organization that gave it to you. It's just so Trump coded. It's hilarious.
Yeah, our prize at least doesn't violate any Lichtman Live rule.
It violates no rules. Lichtman Live Peace Prize violates no rules. Congrats on that, Dad. I'm really proud of you on winning that.
Yeah.
Are you ready for our next topic? Actually, I have a quick question before we move on.
Yeah.
Do you think it's just a little bit hard to give a president a peace prize? I mean, they are the commander-in-chief. They are constantly commanding military forces. Just feels like the chances that a president goes in and serves 4 to 8 years without making any sort of military blunder are pretty low. Like, I don't even really think Obama deserved a peace prize.
I was called right after Obama got the Peace Prize and was asked to give commentary. And you know what my first reaction was? This has got to be a joke.
Yeah.
I don't see where Obama deserves the Peace Prize. 3 other presidents have gotten the Peace Prize, though, Sam. Do you know who they are?
I think Jimmy Carter, but after he was president.
Jimmy Carter afterwards.
I think that's fine, yeah.
Yep.
And then another 2 while they were president?
Yeah.
Oh. I have no idea.
Theodore Roosevelt.
Oh.
For mediating the Russo-Japanese War.
Right.
And Woodrow Wilson for his 14 points to settle World War I.
Yeah, it is tricky because, like I said, presidents on one hand command militaries, which kill people. On the other hand, presidents also negotiate peace deals. So it's like,
it's tough.
I don't know, it's tough.
But, the peace deals have to far outweigh the military. I'm not sure that was true of Teddy Roosevelt, by the way. Yes, he certainly was a great peacemaker. Settling the Russo-Japanese War was incredible. But he also fought the bloody, racist suppression of the independent rebellion in the Philippines, which the U.S. had taken over during the Spanish-American War. He didn't start the suppression of the rebellion, but he finished it. Thanks for watching our video. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and become a member today.